What's going on, guys? Will, the deity here, and yeah, that direct was crazy. So first I want to start by saying, yeah, I give this Nintendo Direct a 8.5 out of 10. I think that there was some really great stuff, a really good balance of third parties, Nintendo IP, and some other great stuff, some indies, some other stuff like that I really personally wanted to hear more about, and I really wanted to dig into it in this video. So first of all, I just wanted to get out of the way, I am so freaking happy that the 3DS took a major backseat on this one, because historically speaking, and I know that with Nintendo history isn't really relevant, but I still kind of expected it since the 3DS is still alive and kicking. It's supposed to be dead by now, but I'm really glad that it took a back seat on this one. I'm really happy that Nintendo finally said, hey, fuck the 3DS for once, let's give it the bam, that's it. Luigi's Mansion port for the 3DS, it sort of just looks like reused assets from Dark Moon, which I'm fine with. I just don't care that much. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story sort of looks like the same thing as Mario Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minion, where it's just it's just you're reusing the same assets, not really being creative. You're kind of watering down how the games used to be for me, how creative the games were to me. You're taking out original Koopas, original pilot Koopas, and you're replacing them with these generic ass, regular ass Koopas. But I don't really care. It's a 3DS, it's gonna die. You got a WarioWare game, which was actually super surprising to me. I actually really was surprised at that. A lot of my friends were like, oh, that looks ugly, WarioWare has been better, and I agree. I think I like the WarioWare on the Wii the most, but other than that, I just wanted to get out of this whole 3D realm. I'm just saying that some surprises were there for us, and I think that was really cool. So we got the regular Wii U ports, Hyrule Warriors and stuff like that. I think that's cool. I guess I'm not really super interested in that until maybe it gets a price drop. We got ARMS, we got a whole tournament that Nintendo is pushing for. I think that's really cool. This could speak heavily towards the future of Nintendo and how they treat their more competitive IP. I think that's actually really fantastic. I love how they're treating ARMS, and they aren't really giving up on it. A lot of people genuinely lost interest where it is a new IP, and Nintendo, I feel like, doesn't really have that much room to support it like that. I'm glad that they're pushing for stuff like this to increase the interest in the game. Little Nightmares, I'm not really that interested in. It seems like a really cool puzzle style game. I think it looks great. I think I like the whole Tim Burton-esque art style, but I'm sort of oversaturated on 2D stuff right now with Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi's Woolly World set to come out this year, with a little as few months away from each other, which I'm surprised we didn't hear that much about Yoshi. South Park is coming to Switch. I think that is really cool, because South Park doesn't really have a filter on it, and I think this again really speaks to this new Nintendo, in which we've got a Nintendo that doesn't really care. Hey, let's push for more mature games on our platform. Let's not be strict with third parties. Let's get everything possible on this platform, and I'm glad that they got the Fraction But Hold on there really fast. They already had the Snowdrop engine on the Switch, we already found out. So I think, in my opinion, I already knew it was coming. It's just a matter of time because they had the Snowdrop. I mean, it's just common sense to me. Maybe there are some other games that run on a Snowdrop engine that I haven't heard of, but immediately to my mind, Fracture But Whole was the thing, and I'm glad that they got it on there so quick, because it's not a old game by any means. It came out a few months ago, and I know that there could be some South Park fans that own a Nintendo Switch. I like some of the RPG elements. It isn't really a common style for the battle system of an RPG, but come on, man, you get to fight Morgan Freeman, and you got stuff like Crash Bandicoot coming to Switch. I've already spoken on this in Andres Restarts podcast, in which Crash Bandicoot is widely known as the PlayStation mascot. Obviously, and literally speaking, he's not, but a lot of people just associate that character with the PlayStation. I'm glad that this can be on the Nintendo Switch now, because I know that it would probably sell better, even better on there, even though he's a gaming icon in the sense that Nintendo fans do love that sort of mindset where gaming needs mascots. Mascots in gaming is always good, the platformer, etc., etc. Personally, I played the games on my PlayStation 2 and I'm really excited to play these games again because I did not want to pick these up on my PlayStation 4. Hopefully these prices will go down by the time it's out on the Switch, but honestly, who the fuck knows? I am really excited to play Crash Bandicoot at home, on the go, and just in all these other ways that the Switch allows me to play video games. It's Crash on Nintendo. Who does not want that? You got Captain Toad coming over. It's kind of a disappointment because I hoped that it would come with a Super Mario 3D World inclusion for like a really steely price of maybe $25 to $30. I don't really mind since they added some Super Mario Odyssey worlds. I'm glad that they're trying to keep Captain Toad and build on him as a franchise, since I'm assuming that he had a very warm welcome among Nintendo fans. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad that they're taking care of my good buddy Captain Toad, as I feel like we need more of these puzzle style elements. It really takes the traditionals of Mario and just throws them out the window, and I think that's really cool. We actually got some more of Dark Souls, and honestly, I was wrong about this one. I actually thought that there was no point in them showing it, but they actually have a Praise the Sun amiibo, and I am well aware that that is a meme for people that play Dark Souls, and I think that is hilarious in how they did that. And he's in the pose, and scanning the amiibo lets you do the pose. I'm not gonna buy it. I don't think a meme is worth buying an entire amiibo in a game for, but I definitely will think about picking up Dark Souls on my Nintendo Switch when the said game comes out. We got some Travis Touchdown gameplay. I think it's really cool. I don't really like the perspective it's in. I guess the way they've shown it, or maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but it seems like almost a top-down sort of perspective, and I think I would miss the third person perspective that the other games were in. So a little cautious when going towards that, but I did enjoy the other games, and I am willing to give this one a shot. And they're pushing for local co-op again with the dual Joy-Cons, etc., etc. I think that this will be just fine in Nintendo's already expansive library of fan-loved games. So freaking Undertale, one of my favorite, the best game in my opinion in 2015, is coming on my precious Nintendo Switch, and I'm very happy, and I love how they introduced it. Toby Fox, I bet that was your idea. You went to Nintendo, I bet he said, hey, let's do it like this. There are a lot of fans. It's based on Earthbound. I really love Earthbound, your property. Let's do it like this. Let's have Sans introduce it. Let's have Papyrus and him do this little dynamic thing where they're like, hey, you joke too much, Sans, and he's like, hey, Papyrus, you're sticking in the mud and stuff like that. Turn on the Switch. Where's the Switch? I loved how that was introduced. I love that RPG, and I definitely will be dropping another $10 to buy that game on my Nintendo Switch yet again, since I already own it on PC and stuff like that. And I almost got on the PS4 for that collector's edition. I actually might still get it on PS4 for that collector's edition if it does not come to the Switch. So yeah, it's definitely really cool to see Undertale getting new life breathed into it by the Nintendo Switch, by Nintendo, by Toby Fox, and by this team. And the only unfortunate news for me personally that comes out of this is that it's coming eventually, and I just don't like not having release dates, but nonetheless, it's really exciting to see that one of my favorite video game characters, Sans, introduced the Switch as a joke. I really loved seeing that. We should have more of that, where Sans, maybe not Sans, but have the actual characters in their whole quirky nature introduce their game on the Nintendo Switch. I think that would be great. That would be very defining for the Nintendo Switch. And thank goodness we found out a little more about Project Octopath. They introduced 2 new characters that I tried to ignore it because I'm really looking forward to it, and I'd rather just have it all fall onto me as a new game, a new experience, a new frontier, and I would really enjoy learning about these new things, because I know that this team will knock it out of the park. The soundtrack, the gameplay, the graphics, how it's presented, the innovations, everything about this game has turned me the fuck on, and I can't wait for it. We got a new Nintendo IP in which it's like Battle Sushi. One of my friends, Patrick, really loves sushi, so he thinks it looks really cool and you can play it online with friends. I think that's really cool, but maybe I'll pick it up, maybe I won't. We'll have to see a little bit. Next we got Okami HD with more Platinum Capcom support, and I really love this because Okami HD was one of my favorite games on the Wii. Not Okami HD, Okami was one of my favorite games on the Wii, which is really cool to see that it's coming to this portable system. There are some motion controls here and there. The more Platinum games I have on my system, the better. And like I predicted, we did find out some more information about Kirby Star Allies, in that you can play with Meta Knight, King Dedede, and Bandana Waddle Dee. These are the most overpowered motherfuckers in Kirby history, and I'm very happy to be able to play as them yet again in Kirby Star Allies. This is very indicative of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, in which you can play as the bad boys themselves, which I'm very excited for, and because I consider that one of the best Kirby games like ever. So yeah, we're getting a new update on Splatoon 2 in which you can pretty much play as Octolings, and this is whole new mode, and it's kind of presented like an 80s style thing. I thought it was really cool, and Pearl and Marina are showing up, and they kind of look like Biggie and Tupac, in which they're on opposing sides, and their outfits are very indicative of that. I think these two girls have a knack for style, and I think Nintendo knows exactly what they were doing for that. They look at these sort of influences and they reflect on these characters so nicely, because Pearl, that is part of her aesthetic. She has that sort of coral crown thing, and Marina, she has that little bandana that Tupac was pretty much, that's a very iconic picture of him. So I think that is a very cool nod towards our Western culture here, our hip hop here. I think that's really cool. $19.99. I think we need to hear a little more about that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna flex, I'm not gonna front about that price. It does seem a little overpriced, but I do think at the end of the day, maybe they show a little more. I think it'll be worth it. Personally, I'm not gonna get it. I don't really play Splatoon anymore like that, but I know people that will kill for this tomorrow. Mario Tennis Aces looks pretty cool. We didn't see much of the story, but they went really in depth about the gameplay, and I'm pretty excited about it. Seeing the Chain Chomp go crazy with the ball, like ruff, and he hits it, that is really cool. You got ultra moves, you got special moves. There are all types of things. You can break your racket, but you might not have to break your racket because you can block. There are you can block ultimate moves by simply doing a block, but timing it perfectly. It's crazy. It's very much the opposite of Ultra Smash. Ultra Smash, for the most part, you're just hitting the ball and hoping you'll be able to hit it back, or you're waiting on Omega Mushrooms to absolutely fuck over your friend, and that's pretty much it for that. But yeah, I do very much enjoy how this is shaping up to look, but I am very much a little worried for the story because they haven't really showed much of it. They just had a thing where Mario and someone else were just talking to a dry bone, and it's sort of like the overworld map sort of looked like Super Mario Super Slugger story mode, which I don't really mind, but I think we need to see a little more of that before I'm fully convinced to say, hey, $60 Nintendo. But yeah. And finally, for their last freaking announcement, in which they just pulled at our nutsacks for like 30 minutes, what felt like. The Inklings are going at it. These are the Inklings themed from Splatoon 1. So me and my friend Patrick thought that it was getting some sort of Wii U port, but that wouldn't make sense. So we were like, oh, some sort of weird virtual console thing. And then we see fire. There's like this fiery effect flashing off of the girl Inkling's face, and she's looking, and then the Smash logo appears in her freaking eye. That part alone is so many people's profile pictures on Twitter right now, it's not even funny, and that's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy because they show these silhouettes, and Mario's looking like a badass. Then you got Breath of the Wild Link looking like a badass. He's got his arrows, he got his wood, he's got his traveler sword, he's got his traveler shield. You can absolutely see. Now, I could go on forever about this, speculating, is Breath of the Wild Link gonna be a new character? Is he just gonna be a reskin? I'm thinking he's gonna be a reskin, but it'll be interesting to see what he does as a new character. But yes, that would be very cool. On the page here, it says Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch as a working title. That's it. They're not telling us Smash 5. They're not telling us Smash 4. I'm assuming it's Smash 5 with a Wii U-esque engine like we discussed on Andres Restarts podcast. I think that it will be called Smash 5 or Smash Switch. I just know that it's going to be the sequel to Smash 4, because if it was a Smash 4 port, I feel like they would have showed footage, and I feel like they would have actually called it by its name. So I very much look forward to E3, because let me tell you guys something. If they casually throw out a Smash 5 teaser like that, Nintendo is about to throw hands at E3 2018, and I very much look forward to it. Like I said, guys, I'm giving this Nintendo Direct a 8.5 out of 10, maybe a 9 out of 10, since this was so good. And I do plan on having some discussions about Smash and how that was portrayed, and the genius of how they sort of had the silhouettes and stuff like that, how misleading it was. Whoever is doing these trailers at Nintendo needs a motherfucking raise, and I'm so sincere about that. But guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't want it to go on for too long. These are my quick thoughts about this Nintendo Direct, and I will catch you guys later. Lil Will the Deity